Laredo, the biggest problem there is the border patrol are corrupt. They are part of the problem. They are in with the cartels, and I know I've worked Laredo. I know what those dirty son of a guns are. Here and in McAllen, the border patrol agents are good, honest people. They're really trying to do their job. But from Laredo west, they're crooked as hell. We've seen them do drug deals with the cartel. We've seen the cartel come across, like in West Texas, out by El Paso. There's no river.
Where
It's
are you
just a
guys
dry
from?
creek
Are
there.
you from the area?
I'm from Texas, yes.
But not.
Not from this
I'm from
area.
North Texas.
North Texas. And you all are from North Texas, or you
No,
are?
we're different. Ones of us are from different areas. He's from Louisiana. The other two are from Texas.
Ah, okay.
And then we have people that come, like on the weekends. We'll be having more people show up, you know, for the weekends, come out and help us, and then they go back home during the week. But we're the full-time guys.
So you are your wife. That's your core.
Not
Yeah,
me.
this is my wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just came to visit for a few
She
days.
comes down to visit me.
Okay.
But yeah, don't put that number out there because for security reasons we don't want anybody. Because like if you notice the dirt berms,
Yeah.
those are there to stop us from getting shot.
Okay.
Because
From the other side of the border.
well, from the road, because the cartel, the Gulf Cartel, which is right across the river over here, they've already been. They marked on our fence back here CDG, which is Cartel de Golfo, which is the Gulf Cartel.
Okay.
And they're not happy with us because we're messing their money up. So we've been told by police that we're on the top of the Gulf Cartel hit list. People like myself have an SOS, which is shoot on sight. So that's why we have dirt berms up, and that's why we don't let out how many people are here. Because if you, let's just say you say there's 10, they'll bring 20. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we don't ever want the numbers, the actual numbers, to get out
Yeah.
because that would be a liability for us.
Would you like a paper towel over it?
So if you could, I mean, you could say, but do not put a specific number.
You're doing your own video film?
I'm doing this to make sure that what I say doesn't get misconstrued. We do that with all media. That way, in case they try to butcher the story,
And you
I
can
have
say,
the original
I have
interview.
said this and this and this.
Yeah.
You will get video too.
That's fine. I mean, like I said, I'm cool with that. I just want, I do this for my own protection because
There's a sign, no media.
inside,
Inside.
because we have sensitive data and stuff that we're doing, working on, and we don't want the media in there. It's for security and safety.
So, but you are all living in this camp right here.
Yes.
And since when?
Almost 2 months now.
2 months.
And we'll be here till either there's a border shutdown where they actually come do their job, or we go into civil war, whichever one.
Border shutdown.
Well, they're going to shut the. We're going to shut the. We're going to continue to shut the border down in this area. Now the problem is, where we shut it down, they just move to either side. So, I mean, we're more of a pain in the butt than we are, you know. You know, there's like in Texas, there's over 1,200 miles of border, and we're working maybe 3. So if you want to look at it in the big picture, we're really not doing that much.
So
But
working
what
the border means being outside, being on patrol at night,
No, we day and night.
day and night.
Absolutely, and that's our patrol vehicle right now. And right now it's broke. The drive shaft had a U-joint break in it, so I'm waiting on getting the parts. When we live out in the nowhere land, it takes a little bit to get the parts back in, so we've got to redo the drive line on that, and then that'll be ready to go again. But that's our patrol vehicle right there.
So video-wise, what could you actually show me? Could you show me parts of the camp, or
Yeah,
can
you
you
can. You can. Here's what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to take pictures of the camp. But if you drive down the road, you'll recognize the camp by your video.
Okay, yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
don't want anything that's gonna reveal. I mean, the cartel knows we're here. They already know. I mean, they've shown us that. They posted our pictures on Facebook. They posted a picture of me standing out over don't need any nutbags and lunatics and just anybody to be able to find us. So I mean, the cartel, they know they got spies and snitches and things everywhere. So no way to cover that.
Yeah, what can you show us
Is there like a map where you can describe your operation, what you're doing here, or
I've
have
got
equipment that you can show us?
well, I mean, the equipment right now, basically the only thing we use for equipment is the mule. I can take you out to the border in my truck and let you look at the border, see what it looks like. But I can't take. Normally, we take the media out in the mule and let them video.
Yeah.
But since the mule's not working, I can't take you out in that. And they really, the border patrol, they'll let me slide because they know me and they know the truck. But I still have to report to them what I'm doing so that they don't flood down here and try to jam us up.
Yeah. Should close.
No, we'll
Because
take you.
it's more complicated with being German, you know. We don't want to.
No. Well, you look at American.
Yeah, but
And
then
they're
they
not
want to
gonna-
see your passports.
yeah,
And
No,
it's,
they won't do that.
oh, we went through some checkpoints and we were stopped for like half an hour.
as
and
foreigners, it's very
Yeah, but when you're here, it's different. That if you're with me, they're not going to give you any crap. Matter of fact, if they know you're a journalist, they stay away from us like the plague. Because really, they don't want to be put on camera. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because they've been told not to communicate with us. They have direct orders not to talk to y'all. You know, so
Yeah, I know.
they stay
But
away.
could we do an interview here?
Yeah, you can interview here.
Video interview, that's okay. We just have this in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, try.
let me give me the
So you're from So y'all are from Germany, both of you?
Yeah, we used to live in Berlin. The Spiegel headquarters is in Hamburg, but we both work in Berlin because politics is.
What's Spiegel stand for?
It's translated mirror,
Mirror?
but it's basically like your Time magazine. It looks a lot like your Time magazine. It has the same red frame around it because after World War II they had to count all the media outlets new. They had to start new magazines, new newspapers, and all that stuff. So that's why some of the stuff looks like American media.
Were you on the American side of the wall or the Russian
The
wall?
Spiegel was in the western side, the western part of the
That's
country. In
the
Hamburg,
Russian side,
yeah, that
wasn't
was British territory.
Oh, okay.
The Americans were down in the southwest in Bavaria. Huh? Yeah. So we're working for their website. So this is a multimedia story, text, video, photos.
I want to get a link. I need you to write
Sure,
down a link
sure.
to.
Give me my phone. And this is basically a story that we will publish before the midterms. So the bigger question is, what is the outcome of the recent border crisis? What does it mean for immigration reform? What does it mean for securing the border? Because there was a huge outcry over all those unaccompanied children. Many people said, "Oh, it's better now." The
Yeah, but
numbers
see,
are
let me
increasing.
explain something to you, just so that y'all understand. Because see, we've had a lot. I've done a lot. I'm the one that does all the media interviews, and every foreigner that comes here, that's the first thing y'all want to ask about is the kids. The kids. This is not about children. The children that they had and they were bringing through and putting on the media was an orchestrated event. That was done in a specific area to try to make it a humanitarian issue. This is not about humanitarian issues. This is about legal and lawful immigration. And anybody in America that's a true American, we all believe in legal and lawful immigration because that's what. All right, like me, I'm a third generation American through my mom's side. Her family was German. My mother's maiden name was Schnell. Her mother's name was Ekstrand. So I mean, on that side, I'm German. My dad's side, now we've been in America since the Civil War on my dad's side, and we were Irish and Indian. So, I'm a mutt, and that's what America is about. Is
Nation of immigrants.
nation of immigrants. Exactly. And we don't, no true American has a problem with immigration, but it's legal and lawful immigration. And the problem is that when somebody violates your country, our country is a country of laws. And when you come straight to our country and the first thing you do is violate our laws, then how can we expect you to have any respect for us the rest of the time? You know what I mean? It's just like Germany. You know, if you guys started letting people crash your borders, doesn't matter what country they come from, but they crash your borders, they start overwhelming your welfare system, which I don't know if you guys have a welfare system like we do here.
Even more than you, I guess.
Well, I mean, it overwhelms the system, and these immigrants, as far as I'm concerned, no immigrant, no first generation immigrant deserves government support, because the rest of us Americans, we pay into the system. You know what I'm saying? Like my whole life, I've worked since I was 16 and I'm 48. So our Americans can't even get benefits like they're giving these illegal immigrants.
I think we never mind.
It's easier.
Okay.
If you put this under your shirt, to hide the wire, you know,
Oh.
probably done that before. Yeah, I don't know. You put this in your pocket or have a little clip on it. Okay.
Hey, why don't we? Y'all want to slide this table so because he looks like he's starting to get kind of
Well,
sweaty.
from here it's okay. I mean, it's no.
You
no
sure?
problem.
She has to
Yeah.
stand out in the sun.
Yeah, we can move it back here
Yeah.
where we're more under the shade.
Yeah, that's good.
If I need to move, just let me know.
No.
Make it a little easier on you anyway. And y'all are lucky. It's not really that hot today, actually.
Oh, boss, it's good.
Y'all are
Normally
used to
it's hot as hell.
So it's 90 degrees right now.
Yeah, but usually it's around 105.
Yeah, summer it's worse.
And then you got the humidity coming because we're right here. The ocean's not that far away,
Yeah.
or the Gulf, and then the river just a couple hundred yards back that way.
That's humidity then.
Oh yeah, the humidity. You're choking.
Okay.
What happened to the fan? Did you turn it off? Hey, point it this way and turn it back on, please.
Oh, that's it.
It actually works pretty good.
Not bad.
Okay.
Okay for you?
Yeah, that's okay.
So we,
Test
Look
1,
at
2, 3.
Sebastian, the
So we-
camera's not
we-
there, I can hear you.
now we both will ask questions, but look at me. Casey, tell us what are you doing?
What we're doing here is trying to secure our border. We're trying to demonstrate to the American people that we do not have to have permission from the federal government or any government to be able to protect our own homeland and our own borders.
How do you protect the border?
We patrol the border in a Kawasaki Mule and on foot.
That means you have weapons with you, or how does it work?
We carry weapons, but the weapons are because of the cartel, because of the death threats that we've received from the drug cartel in Mexico, the Gulf cartel. Those guys are serious, and they play serious games. So we carry weapons to protect ourselves against them, not against the illegal immigrants. The immigrants that we've encountered all come across unarmed and usually without any money or anything. So the weapons aren't for the immigrants. The weapons are for the cartel.
And what happens when you encounter immigrants?
We just go towards them. Depends. If we catch them already on our soil, then we go towards them with the mule. And when they see us, they turn around and retreat back to the river. If we're out on foot patrol and we see them fixing to come across, then we radio in and we have a rapid response team, and we'll go out and stand on the border and let them see us, and then they decide not to cross.
And you would call the police or border patrol?
No. We don't call the border patrol unless we catch somebody like out here and we don't have the option to run them back to the border, then we'll detain them and call border patrol.
Why are you doing this here?
Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Because I love my country and my government won't do their fundamental job of protecting the borders of the United States of America. President Obama is a hypocrite and a liar, and therefore, since he won't do his job and he won't enforce the people charged with the job to make them do it, then we, the American people, will stand up and do it ourselves.
But there are lots of border patrol agents. That's their job, right? To secure the border.
That is correct. It is their job. But due to the policies and procedures sent down by Washington, they are ineffective. And the way that they do it is not going to work, does not work. And the way we do it is effective, and it does work.
What's the difference between your way and their way?
Their way is they sit back 200 or 300 yards up to 50 miles away from the border, and they try to catch the illegal immigrant once they've crossed. What we do is stop them at the border. We don't allow them to cross. We don't allow them to come onto our soil.
But I've seen lots of border patrol cars right in front of your property here.
Yep. But this is 300 yards away. There's a lot of woods between here and the river. And if you're not on the river, it's very easy to come across and hide in the brush and wait for an opportunity to further advance into the country.
So since when are you here?
We've been here approximately 2 months at Camp Lone Star.
And how did it all work out? How did you guys meet each other? I mean, how did you meet each other?
Well, we meet each other through different social networking. We meet each other or know each other from personal experience. The guys that I'm here with now, several of them I know personally, and they came down to help support the mission. Others we know through social media, and they want to come down and help us out
How long will you stay?
until we seal the border or there's some sort of civil war.
What does it mean?
What do you mean?
What does it mean? I mean, it's very abstract to say seal the border or civil war.
Well, seal the border, the government to do their job, to seal the border, to stop allowing these incursions into our sovereign land, or there becomes a civil war and we have to protect our homeland in other areas.
Civil war against who? In the U.S. obviously.
You know, that's at this point it's hard to say. It could be the government against the people. It could be terrorists against the people. There's a lot of problems brewing in America, and it's the people that are the ones that are being vilified by the government and by these foreign terrorists like the Muslims, who they've already begun beheading people in our country.
But they are not here, right?
Yes, Muslims, Chinese, all of those people illegally cross right here in this sector.
What about your ordinary life? I mean, your life in North Texas. So you are away all the time. What about your job and everything? Your ordinary life.
God has blessed me with a great family and a good family structure, and my wife is able to maintain and take care of our bills and stuff, responsibilities back home, which allows me to be here. I'm self-employed. I own my own business. So, due to the fact that I've been able to live the American dream, I'm able to be here and support America and try to help others to be able to realize the American dream.
So you are kind of on leave of your business. So yeah.
On leave, or I'm just here to do what I need to do for my country.
What is your business, sir?
I'm an electrician. I own an electrical contracting company.
What is your biggest fear? Why do you think it's so dangerous that this border is wide open?
Well, because of
Please look at this.
oh, the infectious diseases that are coming in. We've got terrorists that are coming in. There's a lot of threats to our national sovereignty by allowing these borders to be open and people flooding across like they are.
Are you afraid that it might change America?
Oh, it will definitely change America, and not for the better. Whenever you have people that come in that do not respect the rule of law from the beginning, they're never going to respect the rule of law, and it's not going to change for the better. It's going to change for the worse. You know, just like in your country, in Germany, if somebody comes to your country illegally, what do they do in Germany to an illegal immigrant that crashes through your border?
Yeah, they would try to arrest him, but we don't have a border. You know, we have the European Union, and we don't have a border to the middle, to the Mediterranean Sea, not to the east, because we are in the middle of the European Union. That's why we don't have borders.
But if you had somebody from Syria or a group of people from Syria sneak into your country, bypass your customs, what would your police do to them if they caught them in the country?
Yeah, they would get arrested, and they could apply for asylum because they are obviously refugees from Syria.
Possibly refugees. You know, but refugee is also a term that can be loosely used to and applied to a bunch of people with no meaning absolutely at all. Refugees, that's, to me, that's a political term that actually really means nothing.
I mean, you don't think that there are refugees at all?
I believe that there are people that are wanting to leave their country because of the problems in their country, but to me that's the equivalent of an American not liking what's going on here, so we try to go somewhere else. We won't get refugee status, and there's no difference with what our government's doing to prosecute American citizens and the laws that our own government is violating. I should be able to get a refugee status, but no other country in this world will give us one. Refugee is a political term, and the problem is if you have a problem in your country, then the citizens of that country need to come together and change it to what they want it to be.
Do you have sometimes kind of empathy for these poor guys coming from Guatemala, Latin America, whatever, trying to cross the border and dying in the Valley of Death up there in, Asturias, the region of Asturias, where they are, where they are dying
Do I
actually?
have empathy for somebody that's illegally coming into my country, illegally trying to go across my country? Absolutely not. Nope.
Because these are human beings as well.
I understand that, but they are criminals. When you violate our sovereign border, when you violate our laws, you're a criminal, and you are not. In the United States, if you commit a crime and you're a United States citizen, they strip you of all your rights, the constitutional rights, and every right granted to us through our Constitutional Bill of Rights. And we're American citizens. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If they can strip us of our rights, these illegal immigrants have no rights, and they are not welcome here if they cannot come through the legal channels. I'm not empathetic at all.
Can you tell us about your daily life here? I mean, how does it start? What do you do in the morning, the afternoon, in the nights?
Basically, what we do is we patrol the border day and night. We get up, we go patrol. We drive around, look for signs of new crossings, look for foot traffic, look for evidence that somebody has illegally crossed in the area. If we see that it's recent, we'll try to track them down. If not, we'll clean up the area and continue patrolling. If we see somebody trying to cross the border, we'll present a presence at the border to discourage them from coming across.
How big is this area you are patrolling?
It's about a 10-mile total area.
Okay. So that's a lot, right?
Yes, sir. For a small group of people, that's a lot, and we're more effective than the border patrol agents, and there's twice as many of them as there is us.
But how is it organized? Do you work like in shifts or do you go out together?
We go out in shifts because we have to keep a 24-hour security here at the camp. So we go out in shifts, and we never go out unless patrols out on the border. So we have a guy that drives and then two guys that are there for protection in case they decide to shoot at us.
And that's why you use the mule for driving.
Yes, for transport. That way we can get around that 10 miles pretty quick. Where if we had to do it on foot, you'd only be good for one 10-mile march a day. Where this way, we can take the same guys and do that same 10-mile path 5 times.
How's your relationship to the border patrol agents?
The actual boots on the ground border patrol agents, the guys that are actually out here working, it's actually a pretty good relationship. We communicate with them. We try to work with them as best we can. We support them, especially like at night when they start chasing or they get illegal immigrants into the brush. Our mule is equipped with some extremely bright LED light bars, and so we can go into the area and light it up for their safety so that somebody can't ambush them. And so we help support them in their efforts to apprehend, while at the same time we work the border to prevent them from coming in.
But isn't it dangerous for you if someone from the border patrol shoots at you?
They already have.
Yeah, I read about this.
Yeah.
Can
And
you tell me?
well, I don't know what to say other than it was a horrible mistake. The border patrol agent that actually shot at us was used to working at a checkpoint, and it was my understanding that this was his second day in the bush, and he was actively pursuing an illegal immigrant when he ran across our guy in the woods, and he opened fire without announcing himself as law enforcement or border patrol. And after he shot twice, then he commanded, drop your weapon, at which point my guy's like, hey, 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 I'm on your side. He dropped his weapon. And the guy shot 3 more times. He shot a total of 5 times and never hit the guy from 35 feet away. So I don't know if it's a training issue, because for one thing, the agent that shot at my guy, he stated that he thought he was an illegal immigrant. Well, the problem with that statement is the man that was shot at has long hair and a full beard. Not one illegal immigrant that I've encountered since I've been on the border over 3 months has had long hair and a beard. Every immigrant that I've encountered had short hair and little, if any, facial hair. So the comment that the Border Patrol agent made doesn't make sense. And anybody that's been on the border knows that these guys coming across don't have long hair and beards. So I think that was a cop-out excuse. And it, unfortunately, the area that we were shot at, we had just got permission to be in that area, and it's a heavy drug area. It's where they move a lot of drugs from Mexico to the United States. And so, you know, I don't know if there's ulterior motives in there. We're just unsure.
Thank you so much.
Keep talking for a minute. More shots.
Was that like a steady cam?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Shoulder tripod.
That's kind of cool. Never seen
Not
one of
really
those.
a steady camera. It makes it a bit more comfortable, a bit more stable.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, because in my new format we had these bigger video cameras, and now it's try to use these DSLR cameras. The pictures are much brighter, better, but it's not easy to film with it. So,
Well, I helped do a video with the guy made a movie. What was the name of that movie? It's called Jebediah's Axe, and they filmed the entire movie with a camera like that. So it was pretty cool. It's like a B movie, but it was cool. It's the first time I'd ever seen them actually filming with
Photo
that type of
camera.
yeah, with a photo
They
camera.
do it more and more now. And these groups you are encountering here, these are mostly illegal immigrants. That's what we call
Everybody
them,
that we
right?
encounter here is an illegal immigrant
Yeah.
because if they were legal, they'd be coming through the bridge.
Yeah, because you would call them illegal immigrants, like undocumented immigrants.
They're
Illegals, of course.
illegal because they are violating the United States law. They are violating federal law. They're violating state law. They're criminals.
Do you think there should be a comprehensive immigration reform in Washington?
The only thing that they need to do with immigration reform, and I totally agree with it, is that they need to do something to make it more accessible and affordable. Right now, unfortunately, it's my understanding that the policies and procedures of the federal government, it's cost prohibitive, especially for somebody that's actually coming from a poor country. Like to us, $5,000 isn't that much money. It's a small amount of money. To them, like we'll use Mexico for an example. Even though Mexico is less than a third of the traffic coming over, most of the traffic coming over is from countries further south in South America. They're coming from the Middle East. They're coming from China. But we'll use Mexico as an example. In Mexico, a guy works all day, he may make $5 a day. Where here in America, the minimum wage is $7 and something an hour. So it takes them a lot longer to try to build that kind of money up, and then their family has to suffer in the process. So I agree that there should be a less costly way for people to be able to immigrate to this country legally. Immigration reform, I mean, that's the only thing, because I firmly believe that if you come to my country, then you need to go to classes and learn English. If you can't speak English, then you're disrespect. If I go to Germany and I don't try to talk German, then that's disrespecting their country.
No, and speak English.
Well, I understand, but
And you
there's
are fluent in English, so
well, but Germans are smart like that. But if you go to other countries where they don't speak English as the primary language or a secondary language like they do in Germany, then it goes back to the saying, when in Rome, you act Roman. When I go to another country, when I've been to Mexico, I go down there and I try my best, which limited Spanish that I have, I try to communicate with them in their language. It's their country. And to me, it's disrespectful if I go to Mexico and I demand that they speak English, because they're Mexican. That's their country. Spanish is their language. So I should
Can you
not.
take photos? Yeah. From this side. If
So-
you can be there, but if you don't want to be in the background,
So, you know, that's disrespectful to me to try to demean their language and say, hey, no, you need to speak mine while I'm in their country. And the same goes here. If you're in America, then you need to be able to speak English. You need to be able to know our history. If you really want to be an American, then you need to go through the classes to learn our history, to learn our language, to learn our governmental system and how it works. That'll make you a better American. So I don't believe any of those things should be altered or changed. Those are necessary, fundamental things that need to happen for people to become a citizen. But I do believe that the red tape involved by Washington is excessive. As far as immigration reform, where we need to just give mass amnesty, oh no. We need to throw every illegal immigrant out of this country, every single one of them.
so these are 11 million.
I don't care if there's 55 million. They all need to get out of this country. This country is a country of laws. And if you cannot follow our laws, then you need to not be here. If you can't respect our country and if I go to Germany and I disrespect your laws, like one thing I know for sure is a friend of mine is from Germany. And in Germany, the swastikas are outlawed, I guess going back to World War II and Hitler. So how would that be if I walk around Germany wearing swastikas? Would I be looked at in a good light, or would people look at me crazy?
If you would wear swastikas,
Yeah.
then you would be prosecuted.
I'd be prosecuted for wearing a swastika.
Yeah.
Why? Because I violated your law?
Yeah, right.
Okay, well, what's the difference? When you violate our law here, to me, that's a petty law. You know, that because of a swastika, they'll put you in jail. Because, see, here in America, we have freedom of speech. Whether I like it or not, there's people that can be a member of the Nazi Party. We even have it as a political party, the Communist Party. You know, we've got racist groups. You've got La Raza, the Black Panthers, the Ku Klux Klan. I mean, and all of those are allowed to be here because of the First Amendment in the United States Constitution. So to me, that law of prosecuting somebody for a swastika is ridiculous.
But let me go back to the immigration because the proposal from the Senate and from the President is to secure the border on the one hand, and then give these undocumented immigrants, these 11, 12 million, a pass to citizenship over years and years and years. That wouldn't work for you.
Absolutely not. I don't agree with that at all. And Obama is a liar because Obama has said that the border is more secure than it's ever been, which is a blatant lie. Him and the Congress and the Senate that all go along with this, they're liars and they're complicit in the invasion of America. If you want to come to this country and be a citizen, you go through legal channels. If you do not want to go through the legal channels, then I won't welcome you, and neither will a lot of the other 30 million Americans.
Do you have contact to the neighborhood here?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, you are on the property of Namaku Rangers.
Yes.
But what do the other guys say to you about you here?
They like us here because when we first came here, just like the property owner Rusty, he's had over 150 dogs killed because the dogs bark when the illegal immigrants come through. They've cut his dogs' heads off. They've strangled his dogs. They've stabbed his dogs. They've bludgeoned his dogs. So, since we've been here, we've been able to allow people to sleep comfortably at night. Like Rusty, he used to couldn't get but 2 hours of sleep a day, and he's a 60, almost 70-year-old man. And so you can imagine how hard that is, even somebody at our age, to sleep 2-3 hours a day and try to keep going. But that's all he could comfortably rest because of the fear of what happens to his property, the animals, the thefts. These illegal immigrants, not only are they violating our laws by crashing our borders, but then they come here and they victimize our citizens. They break in their houses. They steal their cars. They rape people. And it's just like, you know, you guys in the media, you keep talking about all these poor kids, these poor kids. You need to be in Mexico worried about the poor kids because these illegal immigrants are being victimized on the Mexican side of the border. The children are being kidnapped. They're being sold into sex slavery, and they're also being kidnapped and sold after they've been dissected. They sell the body parts. They found a van in Matamoros full of carcasses of children that had been stripped of their body parts. So you talk about victimizing children, you need to go to Mexico because that's where they victimize them. And then they try to put it off on us that we're mean Americans because we don't want an illegal here. At least we don't victimize them.
Can you look at the camera lens?
Okay, so
Yeah, is there any perspective where I can get a picture of the camp? Like from here, one of the tents?
Yeah, I guess you could shoot from back over this way, that way, or
This
something.
way?
Yeah. Well, more from like shoot where you get the trees